Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Gaston Rossato. This is season 5, episode 13.
And I'm Rossato, and this week we're looking at the Mercedes-Benz SL. More specifically, we're taking out the R107 generation.
Such an iconic generation. What a great opportunity to have two cars here today. An extremely early production SL and a very late model right here. Let's compare the two.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the history and let's share some of the unique features of each one. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, guys. As always, let's kick it off with the drive. I think I'm gonna go with the newer one.
You know me, I like more classic.
All right, let's go.
So I'm driving the 1972 350 SL. First year for the 107 body. Obviously a much more vintage car. So far I can tell you the car is very smooth. It has a really good feel. Early 70s, it's not a wood steering wheel. For some reason you might think it might have that, right? But it does not. I love the original Becker stereo. That is just awesome. And it works too. We're gonna keep it down for the sake of this video. Very gorgeous white on black combo. We have the hardtop roof, where we're keeping it off here so you can see the combination with the roof off and on compared to the 560.
All right, so I started off the drive in the more modern, in the 88 SL. This is the SL 560. Gaston is in the 350 SL. I mean, first of all, you cannot ignore the combination of this car, right? That light blue exterior with that blue interior, that blue on blue combination is just perfect. This is an extremely smooth car. The power is more than enough. The suspension is nice. I am a taller, on the taller side, so it's not the most comfortable thing for me, but it works. I do have updated brakes and suspension compared to the early model Gaston's in right now, and obviously a bigger engine. I'm excited to jump into the next car and see the difference, really.
All right, we did the switch. I'm now driving the 560 SL. Renzo is driving the 350 white SL. And let's see the difference between these two cars. All right, so many years later, and we got the same feel. It's the same feel as the 72. The dials are in the same place. They change a little bit as far as their look. The Becker radio is still there, also a little more modern. We got power windows now versus manual. And the feel of the car is very, very similar too. But I'm looking at that 350 in my rear view, and boy, it looks nice. That white color with the pop off.
So I'm now sitting in the 350 SL. This is the 72. Automatically interior is different. This is way more old school. And you can definitely feel the difference in power, suspension, and brakes. But let me tell you, she still has good power. We always have the roof off of this one. The 560 SL still has a hard top on. We're gonna head back to the barn now, and we're gonna do a nice walk around and get a little more detailed look at both of these cars, and as well as a more in-depth look at the SL in general. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please hit that subscribe button for us. All right, so we're back from that drive. I think it's really cool that we were both able to experience both cars, right? The SL is a total of 6 generations, and we're focusing on the 3rd generation here, which is the R107.
What an iconic car. I mean, for me, just the 107 chassis is something that, you know, is already a classic.
Yeah.
And it's a modern classic. And it's also a great way to get into the collector car, classic car world with having very little sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
You got all the amenities of a modern day car and the reliability, plus availability of parts and knowledgeable mechanics.
That's very true. That's a big point in making it easy for somebody who's starting off in that collector car world.
But it's not limited to just the beginner, because
not.
we have some clients with many, many, many cars, and there's an R107 car in their collection too.
Yeah, that's very true. So we have here a 1972 and a 1988. So I think it was really cool. I mean, driving the car, I can obviously tell you the 560, 5.6 liter V8, more power.
That's a lot of power, but the 350 felt good. It felt like it was enough power. I didn't get that underpower feel, you know what I mean?
Very true.
It was all there. It was enough. That's a monster.
Yeah.
Whole different level.
Suspension-wise, this was a lot smoother. We do have the updated W113 sedan suspension. It's derived from that suspension in this car, and bigger disc brakes, because you obviously have that more power, you need the better brakes, right?
Yeah. You know, the cars are very similar. When you jump into one and the other, the feel is essentially the same.
Yeah.
There's some cosmetic differences on the outside. These are both, by the way, US spec cars, and the biggest difference you're gonna notice are the bumpers, right?
Right.
In 88, you already have these regulatory bumpers. A lot of people don't like them. It's the way it came from factory. It's part of history. I would keep it. I know a lot of people like to do the Euro swap. This car feels like it has more of the Euro bumpers, much more flush to the body of the car, but that's pre-regulation.
Yeah, pre-regulation. And one of the reasons this car does, the 560 does exist, is because of the regulations. This car was only sold to, I think it was Canada, US, Japan, and Australia.
Yeah, very limited market.
It was to make up for that, you know, decreased power because of regulations that were going on.
And the category of this car is also very unique. Probably the only car in its category for the time, which would be a luxury, high-performance roadster.
Yeah.
Nothing else like it on the road. And when I say performance, it goes back to the word SL.
That's right.
Which means super light.
Super light. It's a German word.
There's a German word, but
translates to super light, right?
And it's still the same letter.
So really cool. The SL, the first car to be badged with the SL is the infamous 300 SL, known as the Goldwing. So that's awesome, right? The person responsible for the SL, let's talk about that.
Yeah, another very known and well recognized individual for the automotive history. We've talked about him before in past episodes, Mr. Max Hoffman.
That's right.
You know, that guy's a god in the car world.
He was responsible for the development of this car. Because of the boom that was going on in America at the time, he figured out that this was going to be something that was going to sell and have a lot of sales, and it obviously did, and it was a very successful car because it's still being made today.
Yeah. What a great opportunity today to have these two cars here. Obviously, one with the hardtop on, one with the hardtop off, giving you, it almost transforms the car entirely.
It does.
And, you know, you get the best of both worlds depending on what you wanted.
All right, Gaston, let's bring these cars inside. Let's give you guys a more detailed look at each of these cars.
That's right. Both of these cars are very unique examples, very clean cars. Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
All right. What two lovely examples we have here today. Only 62,000 original miles on the 72.
And we have 53,750 miles on the 88.
And this is a very well documented car. I'm talking about Renzo. Original window sticker, all the tools, keys, service history, spare tire, jack, you name it. Same goes for this car. Hard to find these days.
No, you can definitely tell that both these cars were kept, and maybe garage kept, because there's no signs of rust in either of them. And it's a really cool fact, actually. The 88 has a system of already, with the way they painted the car, was a system that, you know, helped the cars not, you know, get rust so easily because they weren't known.
That's a really good point you bring up, because These two cars are actually two very separate buyers. A lot of people don't prefer the early cars because of the rust situation, which is why we like this car, because it does not have the rust, making it very rare in that sense.
That's right.
It's also important to note that there's a lot of different engine variations between this first and this last. But, you know, I think it's just important to focus on the 107 for today.
Right.
But another good fact to bring up is that this is the successor to the famous Pagoda SL, which is also a beautiful car.
Oh, it's such a lovely car, it really is. It's really nice to enjoy both of these cars today. It was a great time being able to compare both of them, and I hope you guys were able to see that difference between both in the video. You know, we always try to bring you the best content and the best information for you guys.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering what they're worth, you can hit the links down below. Both are on our website, for sale today. And we want to thank you for watching, guys. So please hit that subscribe button.
And we'll see you guys next week. I'm Renzo Rossato.
And I'm Gaston Rossato.
Peace out.